We're live. VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 778, recorded on April 20th, 2026.
Hello, and welcome to the 778th edition of the TD Gaming Podcast and 611th episode of Video Game Roundtable. I am TJ Denzer.
And I am John Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry.
No Gaming Flashback this time. So, TJ, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Tomodachi Life: Living the Dream. It's a Spanish soap opera simulator, and I'm having a good time. It is definitely one of those things like The Sims, where like you get out of it what you put into it. Like it's a very create your own experience type game. You make the Miis, you give them names, you give them personalities, you give them little props that make them happy and that they can use with either by themselves or with others. And yeah, they're it's a silly little game. I've enjoyed it immensely, and Sam enjoys it too because
first time you have to use a Miis in a long while, isn't it?
It is. We haven't had the Miis like since the Wii days. Like 3DS and Wii were the last time the Miis were mattered. And the last time we had a Tomodachi Life game was on the 3DS, which a lot of people loved, and it's been a long time.
You remember the controversy about the original Tomodachi Life?
What was the controversy?
No gay marriage.
Oh yeah, and they fixed that in this one. Like you can choose dating preferences this time around, like male, female, non-binary, and then you get to choose whether they're attracted to male, female, and non-binary. And like
they did it without announcing it. That's like they subverted the controversy by not making it, not talking about it at all.
For sure. And like there are so many different things that you can do with these Miis where like they really have created an exhaustive character creator. And for anything that they don't have, they have a custom drawing tool that lets you like basically draw up anything that you would like to create. It's not a Switch 2 exclusive game, so they don't have mouse controls built into it yet. But I kind of hope that's something they get down the line because as much as I have fun drawing in that game, I do not like using the joysticks for it.
Well, as for me, I've been playing Slay the Spire 2 a lot.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that, every time I think it's still in the early access, what am I going to do? Sort of like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to give it another try, just another run through. And I end up playing several sessions at once. So even though I think I'm bored with it, I'm not. And here's the interesting thing is I haven't played Eugenics. I can see how long I haven't played it since February 28th.
I'm curious.
Eugenics hasn't caught me like Slay the Spire 2 has.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear them like I haven't had a chance to sit down and be in Eugenics yet. I always hear it's fun, but like Slay the Spire is very, very addictive. I do have a question. Have you played in the last few days? Because apparently they did
they did some that the War Master is a pain in the ass now.
That's the one that everybody's like concerned about because he used to have a phase where it was like safe to play your cards, and now he's just mean on all three phases.
Here's the thing. I'm wondering. It's very hard for a single player, and I'm wondering if this game was made to be multiplayer. Because it seems like everything is oriented toward multiplayer.
Do you think they kind of what's the word for it? I don't want to say messed up, but like you think the multiplayer skewed the balance overall?
Yeah, I do, but I don't think it's catastrophic.
That's fair because like it is a different style of balancing and nerfs and
the original Slay the Spire still had a lot of RNG. You still had to be at the mercy of the cards that you were able to get. So it being hard isn't something I'm as long as it's fun, then I don't care. And I'm having fun even when I lose. And when you get those combos, it's like, ooh, I just got Stampede. And now that 4 energy, 64 damage card, I don't have to worry about playing it because it's going to be automatically played, without as an afterthought. So yeah, it's about finding the engines and getting lucky enough to find them. So what else have I been playing? I've gotten back into Against the Storm. Um, it's a fun, it's I don't know, maybe I'm in a roguelike mood.
Hmm. They've had some good ones coming out this year. I also played I played one for a short while called Solcesto.
Okay.
And that is like you the premise of that is you take a hero class and you go into these layers where you basically have in each room you have 4 layers, and you have a 25% chance of landing on one of 4 boxes that either have a monster, a treasure, or a trap. And if you land on the treasure, all good. If you land on the monster, you take some damage, and you try to luck out on hitting the good rooms. And you have to do so many rooms to like move on to the next level. It's I think it's the art that really stands out to me because it's got a very French art style to it, and it's creep. The monsters are creepy. The atmosphere is creepy. It's a pretty neat. It's a pretty decent little game.
Right. I also played some other stuff. I forgot to mention I started playing Starfield again because they have the new DLC that came out.
Mm. What do you think of it?
I'm still playing the game from scratch. I started a new character, so I haven't gotten the content yet. I've also played 2K26 NBA, and it sucks. It's, and here's the thing: I know what's going on with that game, and I don't play multiplayer, but I know about the rampant cheating that's been going on. Have you heard about it?
Mm.
Rampant
No, I
cheating in
haven't.
2K. Yeah. Oh my god. And it you just look it up. There's software 2K26 that allows people to have perfect shots, and 2K was Cronus Zen and Titan devices, and they were late to getting to dealing with it. You know how bad it was? You have YouTube videos bragging about the cheater builds that they're making.
Mm.
That's how bad it is right now. But the single player career mode is dull as dishwater. And the thing is, I just want basketball. They you go into this city and there's people riding around in sports cars and trikes and all this shit, and I'm saying, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? This isn't basketball. This is their weird version of The Sims. You know, it's like everything but basketball for the most part. Oh my god, they want you to do all these quests. I don't care about the quests. I just want to play. It's like
Hmm.
a basketball game that doesn't want to be a basketball game, which is, by the way, what people are saying about the new Mario Tennis game. Have you seen this? Is like, this is a tennis game that doesn't want to be a tennis game. It wants to be Mario Party.
Yeah, it sports games are not doing it these days. Like,
No.
did you see? So, did you see that Konami just announced a their own baseball game that's gonna
What?
run with like Japanese leagues?
What? Baseball Spirits?
Baseball Spirits, that's the one.
That's been around for decades. What are you talking about?
Sure, but they're
The
doing
only
a new
problem is it hasn't
one,
been in the
and
United States. That's a problem.
right, but they're doing a worldwide one in June, and
Okay. Are you? Is it like e football?
I guess to a certain extent, it focuses on Japanese league, like
I know that. I
the
mean, what I mean is, the Konami, instead of doing their version of soccer, they did the e footballs or e whatever. Remember that was
yeah,
the free to play one. I'm wondering if it's going to be a similar concept.
the production value looked decent when I was looking at it. Like it looked like it could possibly compete with the show. It's still a ways out, but like I'm interested to see if a game can actually compete with the show because like it's kind of a shame that we just have the show. And for what you've been saying, the show sucks. It's not doing anything for it. It
It's
doesn't sound like it.
boring. That's the problem.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how Baseball Spirits ends up turning out because this will be one of the first times they've done a global launch,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I'm eager to see it. I mean, it's average from what I understand, but at least it's better than nothing.
yeah, and the game like these need competition. Like the fact of the matter is, like you're never gonna have sports games that succeed without the licensing because people want to play as their people, and that's kind of a shame of it all. But I don't know. Maybe with people like Shuhei Otani on the deck for their leagues, maybe Baseball Spirits will be something.
I guess. Um, what else have I been playing? I have not played Hades 2 yet, even though it's on Game Pass. There's been so much going on that I haven't had a chance to play it. Slay the Spire is just eating up all my time, I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah, what else did I play? I've been playing. Oh yeah, I bought Role Player off Steam. It's a 2-year-old game, but I like the board game, so I know it's on sale for $7. For those who don't know, Role Player is basically you creating a character.
Hmm.
You know, the strength, dex, all that stuff. But you're rolling dice and you're building your hero up. You know, and you're trying to make the best hero based on their alignment, based on the equipment. Try it. It's $6. It's cute as hell. You can try the board game. Just makes an entire game out of rolling a D&D character, basically.
Hmm.
So, anyways, this is going to be a pretty short episode because there's not much going on right now. After 23 years, CCP is about to do the unthinkable, add a non-PvP zone to EVE Online.
Yes. You know what? I actually got to talk to a couple folks at CCP Games about this thing. I spoke with their community director, Peter Farrell, CCP Swift, and the idea was that like there's always been guidelines in Eve Online that people were supposed to follow about taking care of newbies and guiding them into the game and not like negging them out. But this adds like a non PvP starting ground, training ground where people can learn the ropes of Eve Online. It's very low reward. Like the stuff that you earn from being in there is kind of worthless to people that are playing in the in game like outside systems of the game. So there's really not a lot of good reason to go in there and like try to like I don't know take up all the rewards and and try to take them for yourself because you're really not getting much out of it. But like veterans are allowed in there because the idea is that hopefully like newbies and veterans can learn the ropes together, like figure out things, and then like newbies can find their way to something within the ecosystem of this society. I think
Yeah.
it's a cool idea, and it's something that the game has not had in 23 years. So like probably a good thing for a game that has just like so much to learn and
I'll be
so many
elderly.
ways in which you can be sabotaged.
Yeah, I'm going to be elderly when if it's going to take 23 years for Sea of Thieves to have a non PvP thing. They have a PvE, but it is the most boring shit if you're a solo player. You know?
Yeah. And like and a training ground that's like risk free is kind of important for a game like games like that where like you can either learn the ropes on your own or somebody else can come in and help you out with it. I think this is kind of an important thing that it's definitely important for Eve Online as far as like new player experience. But
Yeah.
this is something that other people should probably look at too because it just sounds nice to have a kind of risk free spot to figure out the game and figure out where you fit into it.
Yeah. By the way, we are live. Just making sure this time.
Yes, yes, yes.
For
Thankfully.
the major news items, Shuhei Yoshida says Jim Ryan fired him because he didn't listen to him. This comes from Eurogamer. Shuhei Yoshida, the former long tenured leader of Sony's first party PlayStation worldwide studios, said he was fired from the role by Jim Ryan, the boss of PlayStation, because he didn't listen to him. In 2019, after 11 years of being first-party development, I was fired from the role. Jim Ryan removed me from first party because I didn't listen to him. He asked to do some ridiculous things, and I said no. I wonder what those ridiculous things were. I think we can guess.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with Jim in the PS1 days, you don't want to have one of your friends as your subordinates because they were a long time with PlayStation. Ryan gave Yoshida's first party role to Guerrilla Games boss Herman Holst, who retains that role now after coming very close to leading all of PlayStation. Between the two of them, the two reformed PlayStation Worldwide Studios into PlayStation Studios, pushed into live service games. Yeah, that's a good idea. And acquired developer Insomniac, and Housemark, Bungie, and Bluepoint,
Which is closed.
which just closed. And Bungie's no longer. I don't know what Bungie's relationship with Sony is right now.
Sony still owns Bungie, and Marathon is kind of their flagship right now.
But I don't know. Yoshida left PlayStation in 2025 and now runs his own indie game consulting firm, Yosp Inc., an independent study means he can now talk about Nintendo, Xbox, and Steam, he says, while on stage with a smile. Jim Ryan is no longer with Sony. He left in March of 2024 under a lot of heat.
Yeah, that guy was a scumbag. His entire belief that old games shouldn't exist because they don't sell as well as new games is preposterous and stupid. Like, I don't know, man. Jim Ryan.
And here's the thing: Jim Ryan was around, was working at Sony for the PS1 days.
Yeah, I can't understand somebody that could have come all the way from PS1 to PS4 and come up with the position that people don't care about old games. Like,
has he seen the games that have been released? All these retro games.
Yeah. And then, like, he had a lot of other bad opinions too. his other, like, Jim Ryan had some pretty like. It's kind of safe to say that Jim Ryan may be the reason why PlayStation is floundering at times, because his positions just are shit. They're shit for the sake of longevity for the company. And now we have this whole situation of so many studios with all these live service rejects that get canceled and the studios get canned, while groups like Bluepoint get fired for just existing. Like, I don't understand why Bluepoint isn't around anymore. I can't imagine that it was doing anything bad.
Did you play Demon Souls? I mean, the remake.
I did, and I thought the remake was pretty dang good. But not good enough for Sony, because they never put them on anything else again, and then they closed them.
Yeah, now they're coming out with their $900 PlayStation 5 Pro and deciding, you know what, we're not going to put any first-party titles on Steam anymore, because Microsoft
that was another Jim Ryan classic. The PlayStation will never the PlayStation will never see like day one releases on its own subscription
on their own version of Game Pass. Yeah,
yeah. Like, man.
Or they pull games like Spider-Man when Spider-Man 2 comes out from from PlayStation Plus.
Jim Ryan was a dunce, and Shuhei Yoshida was another victim of his duncery.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean by consulting firm, Yosp.
He helps guide developers through their game development, and if they need help with certain like insights, he lends his talents to them. And then they pay him to come on and show up and talk at these different events like this one to share his expertise and insight for the industry.
I wonder if he has any interest in actually developing a game.
Maybe. I don't know. It seems like he's pretty happy with the consulting gig.
Yeah. all of the glory and none of the work.
It also has to be like he's seen what it's like to work for somebody that doesn't respect him. So, like,
yeah, but now he's the boss.
Sure. But I don't know. Like, if he was to get into indie stuff, then he would probably have to find a publisher, and if that publisher was
self-publish, I mean, Steam exists for a reason.
That's true too. then he has no reason and he should do it. I'm
Okay.
convinced.
Speaking of Slay the Spire 2, take the next item.
Slay the Spire 2 devs reject the concept of deadlines. I need to use that with my boss sometime. Slay the Spire 2 has quietly been one of the most played games on Steam since it launched in March, even in early access. It's a bigger game than the original, both in terms of popularity and content, but it's far from done. Among the incoming additions teased in developer Megacrit's latest update are alternate versions of Act 2 and Act 3. The first act already has two forms, Overgrowth and Underdocs. Steam Workshop support, experimental game modes, a new character, new cards, events, relics, and potions, and eventually, true victory and everything that comes with it. That's on top of expected bug fixes and refined audio and artwork, balance tweaks, additional languages, and more. The only thing missing from the roadmap are dates, which the studio says are just not its style. Quote, we won't massively expand the size of the studio to finish the game faster. Exacting deadlines produce sloppy, uninspired work, and I don't want sloppy Spire 2. I want Slay the Spire 2.
I'm wondering if it's the Watcher or someone else.
Good question. But
because the Watcher has a very difficult way of, with the calm and angry. It's calm and fear. I forgot what the other one was, but she has that dual thing in which either she's calm or she's enraged, and it's very hard to balance, I think.
Nice.
You've played with the game. You've played with the Watcher, right?
In the first game, I hadn't. I hadn't played Slay the Spire. I didn't play Slay the Spire 1, actually. So a lot of it is new to me, but I mean, it didn't take me much to figure out why people like this series once I started playing Slay the Spire 2. I completely get why it's so addictive and why the synergies and why the bosses and the
you should try Slay the Spire 1 when it's on sale, because Slay the Spire 2, everything is very quick. In Slay the Spire 1, for instance, when you heal, it's like it takes a second to do things like you know how the silent heals, not the silent, the ironclad heals, right? Heals after. It would take a moment, and then you'd see him healing. It wouldn't be whoop, like a blink and you'll miss it moment. There's a lot of things going too fast in the game, which I just think is because it's early access. But I'm pretty sure that when the game is finished, everything will have impact when they happen.
Yeah.
True victory. So in the first game, you had to first beat the game as each character. And then once you've beaten it as that character, you have to beat it again and unlock 3 keys by going through the thing. There are certain things that would give you keys by requiring you to sacrifice something else. And when you get those 3 keys, you fight the heart. And if you defeat the heart, you only get the victory for that heart. You have to have all 3 characters beat the heart to get the true ending. In this, you probably notice when you beat the game, you get to the architect, and you whack him, and he does nothing. That's basically what happened with the heart. So at some point, it's going to be like you have to beat the architect, you have to reach the architect, and then you have to play again as the same character, and then beat the architect after going through hoops as that character to beat him as that character. So it's probably going to be the same mechanic.
I have
that's sort of like when they say experimental game modes, I'm wondering, is it going to be like Plants vs. Zombies? In which you have alternate ways. Like in Plants vs. Zombies, you have zombie bowling, you have all these other little mini games. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing with Slay the Spire, because I know Slay the Spire 1 has mods in which you actually play as some of the bosses attacking the main characters in a reverse of the game. So I wonder if they're going to do something like that.
I happen to notice that since the last update, people have taken the Steam reviews from positive to mixed.
Just because
they're a little bit grumpy about that dormant
Chinese players. Yeah, they've been responsible for that mostly.
That's interesting too, because Slay the Spire is a very much beloved game. So it's so strange to see people just like coming to this game in particular and review bombing it just because of an update that rubbed them the
I'm
wrong way.
looking at the recent reviews now. Let me see update range. Um, you see, this is what I hate about it. It says only a specific range, but dude, I just want recent.
Here's a fun fact. There are 7 languages with a score. Korean language has been positive. Traditional Chinese has been positive. Japanese has been positive. German positive. French positive. Russian positive. English positive. 42% of the simplified Chinese users are bashing this game. Like, wow,
Why can't they just?
that's a very specific demographic. I didn't know that Steam even offered these breakdowns of like
Can you send me the link? Because I need
Here,
to
let
see
me
that.
pull it. So if you go to the customer reviews, there's a link that says "See language breakdowns,"
Oh, okay.
and I'll post this and take a screenshot of what I'm looking at right here.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah. And if you pull it up, it says other languages with a score and English review scores. And there's one that's in a scary orange text.
I can't for some reason. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's not going to affect sales.
Sure.
So,
Because like if you look at every single other demographic, this game is reviewing very highly for the people that have played it worldwide so far. That's so crazy. And it's so it's fine. What's whatever. People need to calm down about their games sometimes.
just talk on their own, because when you go to the Steam forum, there's so many. There are now a lot of posts in simplified Chinese, and I'm saying, why are you coming here to do it? Don't you have your own message board? And I'm wondering, well, maybe they're using VPNs and they don't want the Chinese government to see whatever they're posting.
Maybe. Strange. Either way, it's still a great game. Don't let a whole bunch of bad recent reviews in the last week try to convince you otherwise. Slay the Spire 2 is dope as hell.
So some breaking news, and these are news items since we're running short. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 developer Iron Galaxy announces more layoffs after they already made cuts last year.
Oh yeah. That's a team that just kind of ebbs and flows and can't catch a steady break. Like did a great job with Killer Instinct, but then like they had Rumbleverse was so cool and they couldn't keep it going and they shut it down. That was a bummer. That was really really upsetting to me and a few of my friends and a few of them are my colleagues at Check News.
They also were
Um,
responsible for taking over Killer Instinct too.
yeah, and then they did this Tony Hawk's 3+4, and it seemed like a pretty dang good game. We reviewed it well, and now they're laying off people. It seems like whatever Iron Galaxy is doing, they can't keep it up sustainably. It seems like after every success, it seems like they get a setback of some kind. I don't get it.
Well, Pragmata surpassed 1 million copies in just 2 days.
Yeah, very good game. Very a bit short, a bit on the short side from what I hear, but it's a pretty clean and satisfying story from what I hear. And the gameplay is really cool. I didn't realize that it was directed by one of the main directors of Metal Gear Rising, which is a ridiculously good action game.
Yeah. Pokemon Pocopia and Neo 3 have performed so well that Koei Tecmo is revising its earnings forecast. Now, I mean, Pokemon Pocopia and Neo 3, I'm sorry. It's interesting because I hadn't really heard much about Neo 3. I know is released, but there hasn't been really a lot of, you know, much talk about it. But apparently it's sold well.
Yes, I can't remember what I saw about their sales milestones last time I saw them, But Neo 3, I think, pushed the whole series past, I think, 7 million copies recently. I would bet that most of that is Neo 2 because Neo 2 was a lot of people's favorite. But Pocopia was a rocket. That thing took off like whoa. And that thing was convincing people to buy Switch 2s for a little bit before all this bad price stuff. And I mean, that's impressive because it is hard times out there. And for one game to do it that wasn't even like a first party Nintendo game, technically, it's quite impressive.
Another game that sold extremely well is Windrose, which has passed 1 million copies sold in 6 days. That's a pirate survival game. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know much about that one.
I do know that I watched people playing it, and a dodo got in someone's face and killed him.
Wow.
It's you're shipwrecked. You have to craft to survive. It actually gives you a boat, a little boat, a little sailboat, tiny little sailboat, much like Jack's boat in the first one. You know, the one he's stepping off. So you can explore a little bit, but it gives you a taste of, yeah, you can go out there too. But right now you're stuck on this island. So a pirate game that isn't Sea of Thieves, and also not that other game. So you haven't heard of Windrose?
No, I don't know much about this one.
Okay. Um. Oh yeah, Charlie Cox finally played a bit of Clair Obscur, but he's not a gamer, so he sucked at it.
Did you hear the other thing? He said if they make it into a movie, he hopes that what's his face from Twilight,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. He hopes Robert Pattinson plays Gustav.
Okay. And it's funny because for Charlie Cox, he just spent 4 hours in the voice booth, and he thought nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere for him, it's like, oh, you're getting nominated for all these awards. And I am.
Yeah. He couldn't have even begun. None of them could have begun to guess that game would take off the way it did last year. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, but for him, it's sort of like I went into a booth, spoke some lines, then left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Oh, that's right. Did you see the trailer for Metro 2039?
I did. That looks like it's going to be intense, based off of everything that the creators said. It's very much written and designed with the Russian invasion of Ukraine in mind.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the creator of the Metro series got chased out of Russia for speaking against the Russian government on the invasion.
Yeah. When I was watching, I think this could be a good crossover with Stalker.
Yeah, that is. I couldn't help but think a little bit about Stalker as well, and I mean, Stalker itself is also a Ukraine-made game, so like,
yeah.
The vibes as far as it's like presenting a story that shares the kind of pain and torment they've been going through sounds like it's going to be a very intense story.
Yeah. Hades 2 got patched right after launch with a new game mode. They didn't say anything about it. It's called Dream Dives.
I don't know about that one.
It's 4 zones are selected in random order while keeping the enemy difficulty similar to regular runs.
So it's like a boss rush mode, but like randomized levels.
Yeah. And shiny stars are a new resource you can exchange for special rewards that you find in the Dream Dives. So first you have to complete the quest, which has you waking up Hypnos, then lie down on a dreamy bed that appears in the training grounds. So yeah. Also, the Peggy has discovered there's going to be Starfield for the Switch.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm happy. Like, there's a lot of surprising stuff that's coming to the Switch too. Yeah. Capcom has been putting a lot of their things on over there.
Anyways, so yeah, this has not been a news filled day, but then again, it's getting close to summer. But it's funny because a lot of the games that have been coming out now have been just selling like hotcakes, and I'm wondering if it's because there's no competition.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. We are getting to that point where it's kind of the dry spell between the spring games and then the June season when everything blows up again. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Microsoft,
see what we
yeah,
yeah.
Microsoft is having a showcase with IGN in a bit.
Yes, and we haven't heard like Nintendo isn't even doing directs right now. They've just been dropping games out of the blue on announcements. Uh, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the summer.
Yeah, and June is when you have your showcases. E3 may not be around anymore, but those online showcases still are.
Yep,
So
Summer
June is
Game Fest will be here before we know it.
yeah. Anyway, look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net along with the industry news and our gaming history articles. If you enjoy feedback, so leave us comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net. Also hit us up at facebook.com gaming podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave some iTunes comments. You can find me on Blue Sky at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
And we will see you next week.
Have fun, be cool, play games, y'all.
Okay. Oh, damn it. There's streamer. Okay. End stream.